am Legacy, and I will be playing Loretta.
I'm Luca, and I'm playing Frederick Perler.
I'm Tink, and I'm playing Helena McLeod.
I am Vironz, and I am playing Sister Rosalie.
I'm Solomon, and I will be the Librarian.
Good evening. Welcome to the Nowhere History once again. When we last left our investigators, they had discovered a few things about what had been going on. The crowned growth seemed to be making a play across the histories to leave its place within the area of the Mantis known as Nowhere, where everything that is dead and locked away should remain. The group had found out that the librarian of another history had something to do with the way the crown growth was able to leave its rightful place, and now we're working to find a way to keep it back in Nowhere and to remove its presence from the Mantis and from the world as a whole. We ended our last evening with a grand performance completely off of the cuff from Miss Helena McLeod, who had danced not only with the song that was playing, but with the beat within her soul, within her heart and her mind. It was a beat that worked through all that she was and helped her get past things that were beginning to hold her back. The investigators all then retired for the evening to their chambers, and I would like a determination roll from everyone, please.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, here I go determining again.
Oh boy.
I am undermined by 10.
Let me double check what my actual determination is.
Oh,
It's
no.
40, so
Staying true
that
to
makes it
form like last
36.
session.
Look, just barely okay.
I'm over mine by 46.
I am undermined by a lot.
So noted.
Mine's 75, so
Yeah, I'd say you're good.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't ask if anything went up last time. That's okay.
I don't think any of us did.
No, I think everybody got something that went up just during session, not after.
Indeed, some of you got taught to where you had bright and night arts. Some of you got a couple of you got some stat increases. Mostly Helena getting a bit more determination from the dance and the beat working through things that were beginning to hold her back.
Mm-hmm.
All of you sleep fairly soundly, save for Miss McLeod. That beat actually oh, sorry, I saw that Arinoth did not also did not roll super great.
Yeah.
Starting with Miss McLeod, that beat that you danced to that seemed so welcoming before is now ever present in your mind. Even in your dreams, you can hear it. It's all you hear in your dreams as you are back in the United States, back in your hometown, where you are watching people move about, grabbing newspapers and just like reading them, looking aghast, just shocked by whatever the headline is. And a few of them even just drop the newspapers and run to a building that you know to be the home of him.
Uh-oh.
And they are almost like a mob. There's nothing violent. No weapons are out, but there are people like throwing eggs and tomatoes, and people just seeming to have outrage against him in his own household. And you are able to walk through these people as if they aren't even there. And you walk inside and see that not only is he there, but there are a number of constables who are putting manacles on him and working to lead him out. You see that on his writing desk there is a letter. No, a confession.
Oh.
Everything brought to light, brought to everyone who would listen, to the police, to the newspapers, to the tabloids, creating a scandal that, as he walks out and begins getting pelted with the rotten produce and the insults that you can no longer hear, you can see that there's just a look of pure dejected sorrow on him. Guilt, shame, pain. As you realize that the beating is of the heart that you've been taught about, but it's also his own heartbeat. It is fast and strong, too strong. And he is being led away through the crowd who constantly jab and jeer at him.
Oh my god. That is interesting.
Roderick, your dreams are a little bit simpler. You are working to help in an excavation, more letting others do the digging, but you're looking at marks and writing along the wall, old hieroglyphics and other forms of writing that seem to be meshing together in an odd way. It could be Aramaic, it could be Sumerian, you're not exactly sure, but it all seems to be clicking in your head. And you realize that it is not a record, it is a warning about acting on powers that are beyond you, upon acting with things that are locked away for a reason. And you realize that the individual down this dank and musty hallway away from you is the librarian, who opens a doorway and out spills horror and darkness and pain, a sound that could only be described as if hell had a noise, assaulting your every sense, blasting you like a great wind and tearing your mind asunder before you wake up. Miss McLeod, you have one level of fascination with "Is that true for now?" as a question. And Roderick has a level of dread with "Some things should be left alone."
Got it.
It is the morning of the next day. The wind is blowing fairly hard, rattling some of the window panes that are a bit older, as you all feel the sunlight peering in for those of you who have windows. and you feel generally refreshed aside from those who had odd dreams. The rest of you did not dream at all.
Okay. Well, there's really only so much daylight left, even if it's only in the morning. I guess probably the day's gonna begin the same way every day does, with presumably the lavish banquet that the librarian puts on.
Correct. As you all get your preparations done, get things ready for the day, get yourselves ready and presentable for the day, you all head to the dining room and see that there is a rather large breakfast prepared, again with tea and coffee, no cocoa this time, but there are all kinds of breakfast foods, fruits, good warm fresh bread, eggs in the nest as well, and sausages.
No cocoa. He's slacking.
Gotta get over that trauma to get the cocoa.
What the?
Sister Rosalie is gonna go have some tea and eggs in the basket. She's gonna wait for the rest of her compatriots to come down with her.
Single
Nope.
hard-boiled egg.
So you're choosing violence. Okay.
Breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of psychopaths everywhere.
Now we'll come downstairs. I don't think she's gonna bother braiding her hair today. She's a little distracted.
Loretta's gonna come down with a book in her hand and grab a cup of black coffee and a single piece of sausage. She doesn't eat much.
All right.
Fair.
Listen, I'm pretty sure this is the first time this group's seen her eat, period.
That's also
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I think I don't no, not quite hungry yet. She's just gonna kind of sit down and maybe wring her hands a little bit.
Roderick is definitely not braiding his hair this morning. He's going to be
Wow.
coming down a little
Handle
bit,
this.
definitely a little distracted, a little shaky. Probably if there's coffee, he'll have a coffee to try to calm his nerves.
Yes, nothing calms the nerves quite like caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it puts me to sleep.
Fair. Same.
ADHD does weird things.
True. As you all are tucking in, you do notice that there is an absent librarian here. Though you see that there was a note left on a platter of freshly baked blueberry muffins
Ooh.
that says, "Gone to the moors, exploring a little bit. We'll be back. We'll be back by afternoon. Feel free to use the house, go into Brunkrug, but stay safe. The librarian."
That's not ominous at all.
I'm sure that'll be fine. I don't know about you all, but I think I may get a deal to go out and maybe see about earning a little bit of money today.
Oh,
Oh, I always forget that some people need that.
Some people beats you people, at least, so.
Haven't had a chance to tend to the garden yet. That's what I was supposed to do. To earn my keep, as it were.
Yes. I
Anyone
don't.
else have odd, rather unsettling dreams this time?
No, didn't really dream at all.
You might have been the only one to suffer that, unfortunately.
Right.
Oh, I definitely did not sleep very well last night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to attend the library and the church today. As those are my duties.
Yes. I'll get a bit of practice in and then see to the garden and what it's doing.
And what are Mr. Perler and Roderick doing today? I assume that to get some money that Loretta is going to head into Brunkrug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Freddie picks up the letter and he looks through it and he scans the font and the kerning and all the little details. And there's, unless you'd like to declare some hat trick secret hidden in the letter, I'm assuming there's nothing.
Give me a roll of scoundrel.
Okay, I didn't.
Or
You
I'm
scoundrel.
going to be honest. I did really not expect this to be a thing. Okay,
Fine.
1d100. I rolled a 10. I don't know what my scoundrel is off the top of my head, but it's much higher than 10. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. As you look through the letter, you don't really notice anything. Just looking at it as is. But then you like look at it up against the light, and you just sort of bring it close, and you think you smell lemon, citrus of some kind.
Okay. Well, that's not very helpful. Actually, it might be very helpful. I'm going to set the letter down and light up a cigarette and look back at everyone else and take a drag off my cigarette. And Frederick is thinking to himself, if this is that kind of letter, and he hopes it isn't, there would be no point in making it needlessly complicated. So for now, Frederick will trust that, in fact, the what's his name? The librarian will be returning. Oh, I still need an activity for the day. Okay, that was extraordinarily grim, and I need an activity for the day.
There's always gardening.
Yeah, I think Fred is just going to tag along for the gardening. I think that is his.
Fair enough. And what is Roderick doing today?
Roderick will probably stick in the hush house. Maybe see what he can find in the library if there's anything interesting.
Alrighty. So we're going to start off with Sister Rosalie. After you all have your breakfast and head off your separate ways for the day, Sister Rosalie, you head up to the chapel of the Hush House. The chapel itself is, again, quite large, very, to some ostentatious, to you, fittingly grand for the Church of the Unconquered Sun. You are seeing to everything and making sure that everything is within its place, that candles are lit, that the right shrines are taken care of as they deserve to be, as they should be for the various saints. Could you please give me a roll of bright arts?
Yes, I can. Let me do that for you right now. Uh, 19, where my bright arts is 85.
Okay. So, with a 19, after rolling so well, you can tell that there is something attempting to be told to you here. The light itself is golden and glorious, and it is as if the sun in rags is attempting to speak to you directly. And with enough focus, you can tell that there is a guiding hand pushing you to a mirror that is within this place, where one might take in one's own visage within the light of the unconquered sun. And you stare into this mirror for a few brief moments before you see it shimmer and shake, and your image changes. You don't see your reflection anymore. You see a gentleman who looks very akin to a rather dapper gentleman, almost like Mr. Perler, but younger, less silver within the hair, a full head of black hair, but eyes shining like lanterns, in a full golden dark striped suit. And he is smiling at you. Morning, sister.
Good morning, brother.
I don't believe that we have been properly introduced yet.
I don't believe so either.
I feel it is only fitting that ladies go first.
Well, I am Sister Rosalie. Who might you be?
I was known, while I still had a corporeal form, as Everett Lapidoth. I have
Yep.
since ascended.
Everett Lapidoth. Did I say that right?
Everett Lapidoth, yes.
That is a bit of a strange name.
It is an American name.
Hmm. Well, might I ask why you're in my mirror?
Well, I was coming by to check on the librarian. He had been assisting me with a little bit of a conundrum that I had going on. Some events elsewhere within the Mansus going on. And when I come to check on him, lo and behold, I am staring at a sister of the Church of the Unconquered Sun. So I take it that you are here for your own business as well, or are you here assisting the librarian?
I'm here assisting.
Ah, I see. I see.
Now, exactly which matter of his are you helping with?
Well, he was helping me with a how do I put this? Handling a hunger that I have been unable to sate for about a decade now. One that had implications in all kinds of society. He helped me to find a way to assuage it. Though I still feel a little bit of that pang, it is no longer a real issue, at least for now. And what
What kind of.
exactly be he helping you with?
Oh, he's actually the one who summoned me here, in a way.
Ah, him and his ways. Even those adroit within the light can be a bit perplexed by the ways of the Hush House and its keeper.
What exactly is your exotic hunger?
Have you ever heard of a event called the Crime of the Sky?
With my intelligence of 70, have I heard of that?
With your intelligence of 70 and your high bright arts, you know of this event. It is an intense taboo within many circles of the occult. There are beings that have ascended from becoming mortals to becoming what are known as long, that are immortal in one way, shape, or form, where age does not affect them anymore. There are the Lantern Long, much like Everett seems to be, who leave behind their mortal body and become beings of light and thought alone. And of course, another one of the more popular Long to become is the Long of the Forge, who are beings of such intense physical strength that they are almost akin to statues and their blood akin to molten copper.
Mm.
The Crime of the Sky is a crime set in place eons ago in another history where two longs are not permitted to create a child. Longs may lay with whomever they like, but if a child is made, then that is a intense taboo. For the resulting progeny is a being that will drive the mother and father to perform foul acts. A hunger created until that is only sated through consumption of the child. To do so is to become a entity. I bel let me double check that. I can't remember if it's a Legaean or Alakite.
Oh, all right.
Oops. All Legaeans are Alakites, but not all Alakites are Legaeans. A Legaean is an Alakite with a job, basically.
Fair enough. And Alakites are those who commit the crime of the sky. All right.
Yeah.
So back to the recording. They become known as Alukites because they have committed the crime of the sky and consumed their resulting progeny, and thus tend to become fairly ravenous for continuing the same kind of consumption, though more for just consuming other people or mortals in general.
Ah, all right. So this guy, he is hungry for people or like knowledge.
The minds of individuals, their very essence.
Ah, all right. Well, then Sister Rosalie is going to ask after he says that. Do you have someone? Does he have someone in mind that you know of?
There have been a number of individuals who have been brought to me, prepared in such a way that I do not have to indulge too often. It is not something that I need right now. I just wanted to come and check in. But it seems like he's got y'all helping him with something important. And I feel that if it's important to the librarian, it should be important to me. So do tell me, how can I help?
You need to go find the. Oh my god, we've asked you this so many times. What's her name? It ends in Maine.
Aldemarian.
Baldemarian. Yes, if you can go find the Baldemarian.
The
She'll be-
Baldemarian.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've been to that particular lodge, but I can make a trip there.
You might best be able to explain what's going on.
Fair enough. All right. I will go and speak to the Baldemarian then. In the meantime, I would ask. I can see shimmers of other people's light on you. You know an individual by the name of Wellen? Might
Is that
go by
the
Captain Welland.
okay? The ship guy. Okay. Yes, I recently took his boat here.
I thought so. If you see him again, just tell him that Lapidoth says hi. And the way that he is looking, he doesn't look like a friendly kind of hello.
All right. All right. Well, Mr. Lapidoth, I bid you a good day.
And to you as well, sister. And the reflection shimmers again, and you are once again looking at yourself.
I'll make sure to write down his name and the message with the commands that he wants to the captain.
Alrighty. Down in the gardens, there are all kinds of plants that are here. There are some plants that are more for food. There are a few tomato plants, a few various herb plants as well. All kinds of things. There are even flowers, fragrant, and some that are look to be more for making oils, that kind of thing. Just all manner that can be grown are grown here. Even this garden looks much more expansive than what one could find inside of a building. And yet here it is, along with two small chicken coops and even a hive containing the bees that the honey comes from.
Hello, bees. Sorry. Uh, okay, cool, awesome. Nell would have put on as appropriate of attire as possible for tending to flowers and such. And all that hair's gone up because that's a lot of it. It's probably warm. And yeah, she's just checking to see what needs watered, what needs pruning, etc., and so forth, and just kind of getting the lay of the land.
Very well.
Frederick is there as well, in theory.
You did say you wanted to help out with this, so yeah. So Mr. Perler would indeed be there.
Kind of. She's a little skittish around him, not gonna lie.
Oogly boogly!
But, like, cordial and, trying not to get on his nerves.
Okay, so the suit jacket and the tie are coming off. That's not happening when you're gardening.
Ooh la la.
Exciting. There's some preponderance of bees in the area and hives. Is that right?
There is a singular beehive that seems to be buzzing with the usual life that comes within such a place.
Okay. Are there any beekeeper suits?
There are beekeeper suits. Yes, there are though like 3 of them in various sizes. One looks to be much smaller than the rest. The other is like made for a very large individual, and then a individual of the generally normal size.
Okay. The last question is, as I look out at the garden and the plots, can I kind of ascertain what the previous point of this garden is? Like, you can usually tell, like, okay, this was sort of a flower beds oriented thing. It was an ornamental garden, or like somebody was trying to maximize like agricultural outcomes here,
Or herbs.
or herbs or whatever, right?
I would like a horticulture roll from both of you. Helena's will be
Exciting.
for just keeping track of the place, and Perler's will be for trying to understand this place. If you have widely read, that could also work.
I have both of those.
Okay, I got a 2 here. I don't even remember what my horticulture roll is. I don't think
Given
it's.
that you rolled a 2, I think you're fine.
I have a horticulture skill of 0, so I actually did not roll under my.
I will give it to you as just having rolled your intelligence with some disadvantages since you're not actually trained within horticulture. But I'll say that you could figure out at least what was going on in the planning of this place.
Oh, 20 out of 80.
Very nice.
Nell's in her element, yo.
So, what's the outcome for the plants?
So for the outcome, first off, with Helena is that Helena is doing really good, quick, efficient work, trimming some of the plants that are getting a little bit too tall, being able to even harvest a few of the flowers and a few of the riper vegetables and fruits that have been growing here.
Things that are use it or lose it.
Indeed. And as for the role from Mr. Perler, this is not exactly your area of expertise, but efficiency in generally is. As you focus in and just put cold logic to work, you can see that this place is meant to be efficient in giving as wide a breadth of product as possible, while also being able to stay as efficient and as productive as possible throughout the entirety of a year. This room is akin to a greenhouse, but you don't see any way that it could be controlled. The temperature could be controlled aside from possibly being something about the hush house itself doing it automatically, given that you've learned a little bit more about how the occult mumbo jumbo works.
Okay, so the breakdown is there's plots available for plants all year round, right? It's not a hugely seasonally restricted garden. and it is supposed to be pretty efficient in producing food. This is not somebody's like hobby garden. This is somebody's I need to eat so I don't die garden.
Correct. As well as possibly being a I need to have a whole bunch of things in case I have guests garden.
Okay. And the bees. All right, that being the case, we arrived in fall, is that right?
End of summer, beginning of fall. It's where you could begin growing certain things and finish up growing other things.
Okay, so I guess what does the end of the summer plot look like, and what are... I don't know why I'm putting all this effort in. I'm being very exact about this.
Because you're
Okay.
curious.
I'm invested in the TLA gardening minigame.
It happens. It seems like for the most part, this is largely fruits. Like there are fruits that are being grown here from trees that should probably be growing a little bit taller, but aren't. Like there are apple trees and pears and such that are here that are growing well, even in this controlled, confined space. And you also see
Okay.
that there are marks of things like pumpkins that are going to be grown, various gourds that will be grown in smaller plots.
Okay. I guess I'm going to start getting through the garden and uprooting weeds. The last thing that I really like to do here is, as I focus on the garden, can I make a pharmacy check? Because I am the master of pharmacy, to see if there's any plants with interesting medicinal qualities as I root around in the plots.
Absolutely. Please do.
And Nell would have made a point of saying that if you had any questions about any of the plants, she would happily oblige.
Okay, so I rolled an 18. I think I need to roll under 80. So
Well done. So you look about and you see that there's the usual stuff: vegetables, fruits, all kinds of like regular herbs and stuff that would be good for a pantry. And then you take a look around a little bit deeper, like past the chicken coop, but even grown almost behind it. Not meant entirely to be out of sight, but not just immediately when you walk in, you see it. There are plants of nightshade.
oh, exciting. All right, nightshade. That's good to know.
They're very pretty.
I guess otherwise, I think Mr. Perler has done what he does here. Is he's weeding while Tink prunes. Is there anything else your character was going to do?
She was basically just seeing to it and kind of coming here to chill. But like she definitely, if he had any like questions, that this is kind of her jam. So she just let him know. And also try not to hover while he's waiting because she doesn't know how capable he is in the garden.
Okay, and this is, sorry, remind me, Helena McLeod, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I need one moment. Can we return to the garden scene maybe a little later?
Sure.
Okay.
We are going to go ahead and stay within the hush house for the moment and head up a few of the flights of stairs to Roderick, who is looking through the library itself. Is there any kind of specific thing you're looking for, or are you just hoping to find something amongst the volumes? Are you looking for anything pertaining to night arts or bright arts specifically, or just looking?
He's still probably pretty shaken up from the dream, so it's more of He doesn't have anything specific in mind. He's just looking to see if something catches his eye while he's trying to get over the dream.
Okay. Give me a roll of, let's go ahead and call it either intelligence or widely read. And I'll say you add +10 to this.
Okie doke. That would have been widely read, which is one of his specialties. And yeah, that's way below the 7.
Very nicely done. As you are reading through some of these books, some of them just are the usual sort of things you'd expect from a occult library. The tales of the white cat, various tales about the hours or the societies that pay homage to them, about the various histories that are at play. There is one book that seems like it is newer, given how vibrant the golden embossment is across it. The book itself is a hardcover that is a very pale shade that's between almost like light blue and gray. And it seems almost cold to the touch, but also almost seems to be throbbing like a heartbeat against your finger. And it is, as you pull it out, you see that the title is Current Names Within the Ligeia Club. As someone who knows about the night arts, the darker arts within the occult, you know that the Ligeia Club is a society of cannibals who are all in their own ways very powerful. They are beings who have tended to utilize ritual sacrifice and often have powers over keys. One has it has a power called the Key of David. And you are looking through this and reading through the names. Give me another determination roll, please. This will be a +10 because of your level of dread.
Okie doke. And this was determination, you said?
Yes, please.
That'll be a success.
Okay. You're reading through this and you're feeling eyes on you. Ones that are judging, but curious as well.
He'll, sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry, I think I need a new headset. It's starting to get wonky.
What happens?
He will definitely react to that. Not dramatically, but he'll definitely start kind of looking around, maybe try to move to where he can look through the book with his back to a wall, just to get rid of that feeling, or to try to get rid of that feeling.
So noted.
Is there any information about the Key of David?
You know that the Key of David is held by an individual known as Morgan. And it is held quite jealously by her. greedily almost. But the one that comes to mind as you look through this book, the one that really catches your eye, is the key held by a member named Rowena. The key known as the Mare Key. It is a key that can open and permanently shut doors to nowhere. It has been apparently used with the best intentions, and at times the holder of it, Rowena, has lent it unwisely. She is not one who guards it as jealously as her sisters, as they might be called within the club. It is likely in association with the entity known as the Mare in the Tree, given that it is given the name of it being the Mare's Key and it being associated with nowhere where the Mare in the Tree is.
He will definitely be jotting that down. Is Rowena the one that they met in the when they were sleeping?
She is not. The Baldemarian is a different woman who ascended through lantern ways and through working through the doors within the house, within the mansis. Whereas Rowena has ascended through acts of ritual sacrifice and cannibalism.
I'm gonna say she was very polite for a cannibal. Um.
So is Hannibal Lecter.
Okay, and with that, he'd actually try to find another book that might have more information on either the key of the Mare in the Tree, or maybe a history on the misuse of the key, if that is even possible. Like it being what's happened when it's been given out and unwisely.
Okay, give me another roll of. First off, let's make it another roll of widely read, and then a roll of determination again, please.
Okie dokie. Is this still getting a modifier from the dread, or
Yes, your level of dread will still give you a +10 to determination.
to determination? Okay, I will try to use one of the dice from the. I'll try the D12 from the Vagabond.
Alrighty, spicy.
I'll be replacing the tens place. Hey, that's a 29 on widely read.
Okay. And if you'd go ahead and give me the determination roll as well.
Doing so now. Hey, that's a crit, I think.
Damn, okay. You feel the eyes stay on you even as you close the book, listing a brief general history about the current makeup of the Legea Club. And these eyes seem to find you worthy. As you keep looking, the eyes almost seem to guide you. You feel the presence stronger when you get closer to a few books. There are books about the Mare and the Ewe, and there is a brief history about one who protects the hush house. The current protector being listed as being Rowena. The book, which book do you want to focus on more? Do you want to focus on Rowena and her interactions with the key, or do you want to focus more on the mayor and the tree?
He'd start with focusing more on Rowena and her use of the key.
Very well. Rowena is a Alakite, one who has committed cannibalism, including cannibalism in act of the crime in the sky, the crime of the sky. You know that she is apparently quite strong, given that she is a protector of the Hush House and likely part of the people who keep the Hush House open, a group called St. Ronwin's Trust. You see that there are possible assumptions that this is the same Rowena as named in the Matter of Britain, which is a somewhat mythological, somewhat historic telling of the formation of Britain as a whole.
Okay. Sorry for my silence. I'm just writing all this down as you.
It's by all means. And you also believe that it's possible that it could even be the character named from the short story Ligeia by Edgar Allan Poe. You also see that she is gone by the titles Kingdom Breaker, Treason Dam, and Professor Rowena Hengerst. As for a history of her lending out of the key, it is not exactly one that's well recorded. It's just noted several times that she had lent it out to various individuals who were trying to find new ways of exploring nowhere or exploring the manses through other cracks. And that sometimes these incursions from nowhere were quickly taken care of, and she would just apologize. And sometimes there are people who got lost in nowhere, never to be seen again, because they opened a door because of her key.
Okay. And just to refresh my memory, we were in when we were all in the that cold area while we were sleeping. That was the manse, or that was nowhere.
That was the mansis. Nowhere seemed to be. If one were to try to put geography to it, it's seen as being below the mansis, almost akin to how hell is seen as being below the mortal plane.
Got it. And the thing that Loretta and I were researching with the librarian that's trapped and trying to find a way out. Did we find out where it was supposed to be sealed away or trapped?
It is supposed to be sealed within nowhere and kept there. But if someone opens a door for it to come through or listens to its whisperings from various cracks within the mansis, then it has a chance to work its way out.
Okay. He will be keeping these two books and setting them aside for probably further reading. But for now, he's going to Would I be able to do, I'm just looking at my skills, a widely read role that might point out some connections between what we know versus what he's learning in these books? Like, I'm kind of piecing together that a potential way for we'll call him the other librarian, to have gotten here might have potentially been for a key, or the result of a key being used, whether by him or somebody else. But would there be anything jumping out at him as a potential connection or explanation of the things they're looking into at large?
I would take a roll of widely read or intelligence.
Okie dokie. On widely read, that's a 25 out of 70.
All right. With that roll, you could definitely put together that it's very likely that either the other librarian or someone within his history put the key from Rowena to use, the mayor key, to open the door for the crowned growth to slip through and begin infecting the entirety of reality. At least that reality. And now it's beginning to try to bleed over into this one.
Okay. Nothing else is jumping out at me at the moment of what he would look for in the library. But he would definitely be trying to just like he'd have his notebook out. It'd be like a 1920s version of Charlie, just without the whiteboards and the string. Connecting things together, just kind of as possibilities.
Noted. And now we shall leave the hush house to head into Browncook proper. Loretta,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a place in mind looking for work? Possibly. Are you going to see if the good rector Timothy has any work, or are you more looking to find work possibly within the Sweet Bones, the tavern of Browncook?
I think I'll go to the Sweet Bones, to see if there's any work. See if there might be any job postings, anything that I can do to just get out of the house. I haven't been out of the house since we've been here, so.
Very fair. Just the ability to stretch your legs and take in the fresh sea air is reinvigorating a
Mm-hmm.
bit. It's crisp and calm and bright, and it just feels good to be outside of the hush house. The power there, while interesting, had begun to get a bit oppressive.
Hmm.
Heading to the Sweet Bones, you see that there are several people here, even this early. There are people mostly drinking coffee and enjoying breakfasts of uh, potatoes and onions, some sausage, a little bit of crusty bread as well. As you step in, a few people turn to look and look a bit amused and a bit intrigued, given that you are someone who came to visit the Hush House and has now left and come to the Sweet Bones, whereas most, it seems, at least from what you've gathered there during your time there, tend to stay within the Hush House until they leave the island altogether.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I'm gonna ignore them.
Fair.
If anybody has anything pressing to say, I'm sure that they will approach me. I don't look, uh, I don't look like I could really put up much of a fight, so, you know. Um,
So noted.
but, uh, is there like a board in the Sweet Bones with anything that might have like a post and somebody who might need like helping hand, someone who might be looking for like a translator or uh cartographer, I think they're called. No.
That's
Um
the map maker.
that's a map. Yeah, that I'm getting them mixed up with the um calligrapher.
You do see that there is a what looks to almost be like uh, there is a board that has a few postings, but there also seems to just be a sort of like a basket where it's a few little notes of just like, for those who need help with their letters, please leave a mark here. And there are a number of marks, people who have come and just hope to find someone who can read and write, because that's not exactly a super common thing this far out from London and the larger cities proper.
Right. Yeah. Then I'll go to that basket and see if I can pull anything.
You just get a few marks, a few names written by people who at least know how to write their name.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are people who are here and who actually look with interest as you take it up. You don't need to roll to write. You're a smart woman, very well educated,
Mm-hmm.
much more knowledgeable than these people from the boonies, as
Yeah,
it were.
of course.
And you're able to write handling letters going out to London, a few even go apparently being going to be sent out to America, or even further east towards those who might be within uh, trading companies in India and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're writing these letters and getting a few good shillings for your work, you see that the door opens and in steps quite heavily the captain.
Oh.
He looks to you and doesn't smile, but there is a small twitch at the corner of his mouth that could as well be akin to one. And he begins to make his way over to where you are sat helping someone with a letter.
Captain,
Ma'am, may I
good to
sit?
see you. Hmm?
May I sit with you?
Feel free.
It is good to see you as well, by the way. And he takes a seat slowly, almost gingerly, despite the fact that while he is a broad and powerful figure, he's not really massive.
Mm-hmm. I assume that by this point I'm probably finishing up the last letter from all the tabs that I pulled.
Mhm.
Um, and she'll just simply hold out her hand, collect her money, and shoo them off.
Yeah, you've got a good few shillings worth. Not enough to equal a pound, but a good bit of money, good bit of like change.
Mm-hmm.
I see you're keeping busy.
Well, there's a basket full of people who need a little bit of help, and I like having a little bit of spending money.
It's fair enough.
What brings you to what brings you here?
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Mhm.
Interested in finding out how these people eat and drink. Can spoil that one for you, just like the rest of us.
Curiosity about you, ma'am.
Me? How'd you know that I was here?
It's not exactly a very large village. One can look out the window and see someone coming from the hush house.
I mean, that's fair. What do owe the pleasure?
Well, put simply, the librarian tends to stay within the hush house. Occasionally, he will come out and collect something from the post office and then rush back into those large and rather engrossing halls. But now, you arrive, and within 2 days he is out and going into the moors, knowing the dangers therein. I'm just curious as to what could have inspired him to take a trek in in such a way, in such a place. Is it something that I need to concern myself with?
Well, there have been some things that have been happening. Here, there. Things aren't right in the places that can't be seen. Could be that.
I know of some of these places.
Do you? It's good to know. And do you often visit a place that might be a little bit too cold for the human body to reasonably contain itself into in your dreams?
I stay nice and warm whilst I'm there.
Usually I do as well, but there was something that pulled me to the cold place.
Something or someone?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I see.
I think that he is trying to assist us the best that he can, though. We got wrapped up in a little something that might pop out and ruin this. And she kind of vaguely gestures to the areas around her.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something to put an end to this threat within the moors.
That's what we're looking up. Myself, the nun, the little girl that you pulled into the that you pulled up from the scene to the boat, and the two gentlemen. We all got roped into it. Some having a bit more of some of us having a bit of better understanding of what's going on than others, but they are all learning.
I see. The hush house takes who it needs, draws in those that it. Once, I think, might be a good term for it.
Yes. I think that some of them are still trying to figure out what it exactly it is that it wants from them. I have an inkling of a suspicion that I know what it wants from me, but
Oh. And just what might that be, ma'am?
I don't know if you could tell. I'm a lot smarter than I let up to be.
I've known women who are much the same way.
Mm.
Some of the best women to be around, I think.
Life has no place for those who seek out ignorance. The better learned that you are, the more willing that you are to opening up your mind to those who might not be seen and things that might be too good to believe. The more that you learn.
True. There is something to be said for caution. An open mind could be akin to a castle with the drawbridge down and the gates thrown open to threats.
Maybe. I guess it's all about learning when to open and shut that mind.
Something many who are within our circles tend not to truly understand until it is too late. And he adjusts his coat a little bit, and you see that there is a pin that looks akin to a blacksmith's hammer on his lapel. And with your intelligence and with your knowledge of the occult ways, you know that this pin shows him as either a member or a previous member of a group called the Endeavor Lodge, who were largely associated with the aspect of the Forge and the hour known as the Forge of Days. Very focused on physical might and creation.
And you said that is, my apologies, it's called the sorry, what was the name of the thing again, so I can just make a note of it?
The Endeavor Lodge.
Okay. I see that you wear your positions loud and proud.
Most out here just see it as another nice bauble. Those who know are those who often go to the hush house and know to leave me alone.
Maybe some of them are smart enough to keep their minds open and shut when it's appropriate.
Too true. Too true.
So why are you here? If you don't mind me asking. I didn't know that there was one of your locations here.
There isn't. I'm, for lack of a better term, retired.
Understood.
I have found someone that I would rather enjoy endless days with than constantly be struggling, as it were.
I've said it once, I've said it again. Power comes with its ups and downs. And sometimes you gotta just make sacrifices. But settling down ain't too bad either, I guess. For those of us who are ready.
Indeed. I've had a rather long and experienced existence. I think that taking a few years, decades perhaps, to settle and relax, I think that, honestly, I've earned it. Though, of course, if something is threatening my home, I think that only right that I work to throw my hat in the ring and assist how I am able.
It might be worth to have some of your expertise. If you wouldn't mind opening your mind again.
I suppose I should. I quite like Brandkrug.
It's dumpy small and people can't read. Place like it's a gold mine for people like me.
So I've noticed. Shall we
Maybe.
drink to a fruitful partnership?
We shall.
And he orders a few drinks. Nothing too strong, given that it's still only about 11 a.m.
Day drinking, baby.
Sad day drinking. But a nice, like a bit of wine that is not a very good wine, because as you see it pour and as you smell it, it is definitely the kind of wine that is closer to fruit juice that just happens to have alcohol in it. Very sweet, saccharine.
Mm-hmm.
But he takes the glass in his hand gingerly and raises it with an actual small smile on his face to a very good and equitable partnership.
And she'll clink her glass to his. And it starts as a sip, and then she quickly downs it and puts the glass.
Physique roll. No, I'm just kidding. There's not enough.
Oh fuck!
Get drunk.
Dude, Loretta coming back to the hush house knocked. Let's
Sloshed on one glass of wine.
wine. Yeah.
As you do that, he just looks at you with an eyebrow raised and then a much brighter and playful smile. So that's how we're doing this. And he just then downs it all immediately, just almost in one entire mouthful.
Sometimes allowing yourself to indulge. It's a fun thing, is it not?
You remind me of my wife.
Oh, that's dangerous, Captain. I remind a lot of people of a lot of things, but a wife is probably the most dangerous out of all of them. Chilla.
Oh, you have no idea. And as you enjoy a bit of playful back and forth, the door opens again.
Oh no.
And you look and see the librarian stumbling in, his coat drenched in red blood, his hair a mess, as he looks to you and stumbles a bit further before collapsing. And we are going to take our 10-minute break there. Welcome back. When we last left off, the Sweet Bones had been invaded, not by any ransacking monstrosity, but by a stumbling, bloodied, quite disheveled librarian who had fallen to the ground in a heap of pain.
before Loretta and Captain Welland.
Oh, okay. Shit. Captain, can you help me get him up?
I got him, and he will just move quickly from his seat, throwing it across the room by accident. It looks like,
Ah,
and then picking
interesting.
up the librarian, almost like a doll, just without no effort or stress put into it at all, just lifting him as if he weighed nothing.
Okay. All right. Um, and she's gonna start barking orders at like random people, like in the pub. Like you go get me a towel, you go get some bandages, and you go find a doctor or priest or something. I don't know if this is a medical emergency or do you need religion emergency, but it might be both.
Everyone is rushing, following your words, just because you seem to know more about what you're doing here.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, as he is brought up and put onto the table just for examination, you see that he is sweating profusely, and his breathing is fast and shallow.
Um,
You also
I'm
see that there are holes in the jacket and the shirt underneath. They
okay.
look to be about the size of a child's fist.
I'm gonna rip off the jacket, rip off the shirt, and just start examining to see if like there are any like wounds or stab marks or bullet holes or creatures coming out of his stomach, uh, alien style predators.
Uh, you do not see bullet wounds or stab wounds or any creatures working to force their way from his corporeal form.
Mhm.
But you do see that where the holes were and on his clothes, there are two wounds, circular in shape, that look to be about the same size, that look to be equidistant apart. They look almost like the bite from fangs, but large fangs.
Like tusks.
Possibly, though, as she looks, she can see that the wounds themselves also seem to have black and almost purplish veins beginning to form out from the wounds themselves, and the blood is black. Poured
Do
from them.
I know of any like is there like any like occult significance to black veins and black blood and
Give me a roll of night arts.
okay. Mon- 19, I succeed.
Very well. The wounds look to be from the uh large serpents that seem to take refuge in places of occult power. A number of societies go and would have to combat these serpents, though usually when they're doing so, there's a number of the society members that work together. The fact that the librarian was there alone and managed to come back at all says something to his fortitude.
Okay.
Even as he took a bite and what looks to be an injection of their otherworldly venom.
Shit. Serpent bat. The black in his blood and the purple in his veins. Uh Whatever serpent bit him injected him with venom. We need something to stop the bleeding. And I assume that like somebody comes back with like bandages and like stuff like that.
Yes, there are people who come back with a wash bin, several would look towels that have been given warm water as
Mhm.
well.
and bandages to wrap up the librarian.
Okay. So the first thing she's gonna do, she's going to dip like a washcloth in some in some water. And do they have access to like ice, like a bucket of ice?
They unfortunately do
important.
not. There is what looks to be an ice box, but it looks like there hasn't been a delivery of ice lately.
Damn. Okay, that's fine. I only ask. So what she's gonna do? She's gonna dip it in the water, bring it up, and then she's gonna like start swinging it around to get some cool air onto the actual washcloth, and she's gonna use that as like a compress for his head to stop like the sweating, and try to get him to cool down his temperature a little bit. After that, she's going to grab a hold of like some of that water, and another and like once he's like cooled down a little bit, she'll take that same washcloth. Unfortunately, she's working with what she's got, and she's gonna start just like cleaning up the blood and like the vicar off of like his skin. Take any bandages that they've got and begin to kind of like wrap up the bite marks while they're waiting for like a doctor or like a priest or like somebody who has an actual idea of what to do medically in this situation. She's gonna turn to the captain and just put a hand on him and say, go to the hush house, grab the young girl, tell her that we're gonna need some help. I know that she was working in the garden. Tell her to bring herbs and maybe see if they have any anything like an anti-venom or anything that we might be able to inject in him. I'll try to keep him up and aware as long as I can, but I need you to go. You're a lot stronger and probably a lot faster than I am.
At once, and he is just out the door, like to the point where he pushes the door open and it just flies off of the hinges.
Huh.
And you just hear the tavern keeper go, "Oh fuck, not again."
All right.
Loretta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need a roll.
Oh shit. Okay.
If you have medicine, I will need a roll of that.
Yeah. What else?
If you have a roll of, let's go ahead and call it intelligence, I will need a roll of that at -10.
Okay. $82. That would put me at.
Well, 72 under whatever your intelligence plus 10 is.
So, okay. So, my intelligence is right. So, my intelligence would be at a 70 then. I would like to I would like to use my reroll.
Go right ahead.
That's better. Ah, Jesus Christ. Now, okay. Now I'm going to use a card. That kind of sucks. I am going to use the we're gonna be playing the game called I'm gonna be stretching here. It's a very fun game that I love to use, that I love to play. I would like to reroll the 10s, using the I'm trying to think of what I could use here. I'd like to use a D6 from the I don't know how to pronounce that. The Magnarad?
Madrugad.
Madrugad. I don't speak this game. Because the card looks like it represents some form of like almost like death. Well, if you've ever been bitten by very heavy venom, I think you know what happens.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I'm gonna reroll that 9.
You're right ahead.
So that makes it a 47.
Okay. While you are stuck having to utilize more mundane means to try to combat something that is otherworldly in nature, you are doing your damnedest to fight this, to help him be at least more stable. You aren't able to like get him, of course, feeling better, but you're able to keep him awake. You're able to keep him somewhat alert, even as his body is trying to fight this, and the venom is still working through him.
Mhm.
His eyes look to you, but you can tell they're not focused. He's like, Teresa, sorry.
Shit. Can I recall? No. I'm okay. I'm gonna try to get something else. Obviously I have no medicine. Is there a way that I could use like a ritual of some sort to try to pull this out of him?
I would say that you can, but you're going to need things from within the hush house. You could probably use a really simple ritual to at least make sure that he doesn't die before they come back here. But you actually like pull the venom out and ensure his survival, you'll need a lot more of the reagents and stuff that are within the hush house's walls.
Okay.
But if you want, you can utilize a bright arts roll to better his chances of at least staying alive until they get back.
Okay. If I poke my head out, how far is the captain?
He is already crossing the bridge, which is pretty fucking fast.
God damn. Okay. All right, then I'm going to go back in. I'd like to perform a ritual to at least keep him stable. Keep him from dying. And then when they get here with like proper equipment, then I'll try to use that to drain out the venom.
Excellent. Give me a roll of bright arts.
Right. $25. I succeed.
You succeed. The ritual is simple. It's more meant to allay bodily needs as one focuses on the mind. And it slows down his metabolism to the point where this venom will not be coursing through his body as quickly. It bought you a good bit more time for everyone to get back here with what you need.
Okay. Are there any birds around? Out of curiosity, like if I step out, or what kind of birds are there? Like like little like blue jays or like pigeons, stuff like
As you're looking around, it's mostly seagulls, given that you're on an island, but there are a few smaller birds, like a robin.
I just need a bird, to carry out a message for me.
Okay, you do see there are a number of seagulls.
Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna write down a list of things that I need, to be able to pull out the venom correctly. And I want to give it to a seagull and trust the process that it can get that letter to the captain. I'm pulling on some really interesting things right now, okay?
Okay. So you do approach the seagull, and it does not flee from you because it's used to people.
Yeah.
And you write the list of things that you need and put it onto its leg, and it flies off.
Just gonna watch it. I'm just gonna watch it and make sure that it goes in the direction that I need it to go to.
It does not go in the
Erica.
direction you need to go to. It is just a bird.
Fucking right. I forgot that seagulls have like a molecule for a brain cell. Shit. All right. Let's go. We're gonna take the body with us and we're gonna start running.
Alrighty.
Don't make me roll for this, please.
I will not. I will say that you have enough help from the people within the Sweet Bones that they can help you carry him to the Hush House. That you don't need to try to haul his entire self.
Thank God. Loretta's got no strength. She's got no physique. She's a nerd. So yeah, we're gonna grab the body, and with the ritual, I bought him a little bit of time, and we're gonna all to me and the librarian and I don't know, Jared. They're gonna start running.
Alrighty. Back at the Hush House, everyone, no matter where you are currently, hear an intense banging at the front door, akin to almost like they're trying to be beaten down by a battering ram.
Whoa.
Huh.
So much for gardening.
Okay, well, I guess I'll probably look over at Miss McLeod, since we're sort of isolated from other people in this moment, and say, do you want to go get that, or should I?
It sounds urgent, but perhaps we should go together.
Be my guest.
Oh.
And we'll stroll out together. Does the banging summon anyone else at the door?
It does
Well,
summon the sister.
I was going to say, everyone is capable of hearing it. Does it summon Roderick, or is he busy with his books?
Roderick will definitely be drawn to that noise.
Alrighty. Everyone heading to the front door are able to open it up and see Captain Welland, who looks to be very upset. Like a little bit angry, a little bit more just shaken. We have need of your help. Something is wrong with the librarian.
Oh.
And you all can even see the small group that have been basically made a gurney and have been carrying, or not a gurney, but a stretcher, and are carrying the librarian from the Sweet Bones across the bridge to the Hush House, with Loretta sort of keeping pace with them and making sure to wipe away the sweat from the librarian's brow.
Oh, goodness gracious. Where would be best to take him? Where? Perhaps the kitchen?
Would my character know that there's an infirmary in the Hush House?
Yes, I think with your character, who is very like inquisitive about their various things within where he is, he probably had found the infirmary.
Okay, can I suggest the infirmary?
You sure can.
I give him like a quick look over just to examine him.
As he is making his way closer, yes, you can go ahead and give me a roll of medicine.
Wonderful.
And I will attempt to assist.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to use tarot to not Have that be a failure.
I succeed.
Oh. Um. No. Okay. Hmm. The flower maker. Can I use a D4 on the flower maker?
I would say yes, because, well, give me a reasoning for how the flower maker plays into this particular situation.
I'm thinking a little bit more along the pharmaceutical ways of like plants and flowers and how they're used to heal people.
I'll allow it.
Okay. I'm going to use it to replace the tens.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay, that's a lot better. That's 11 now.
A astonishing success. Fantastic. So you have worked with a whole lot of various types of injuries. Both you and Roderick have. This sort of injury, you can see that there are the bite marks. Usually, when it comes to snake bites, it's the holes are very small because snakes are generally not that big. The holes in this are the size of a child's fist, and they are prominent on his torso. It definitely looks like he has been bitten by something quite large and quite venomous.
Oh. Uh, don't. Is there any way I can think of like an antidote for this
I know
kind
a
of thing?
ritual that can pull out the venom. We got to get him to an infirmary. We got to get the supplies fast.
Do you
All
need
right, let's go.
do you need anything from the garden? I harvested some things and I can go get more.
Herbs.
Tell me which ones and I will go get them.
You're able to give her a rather extensive list of various types of herbs, including nightshade that could be used to draw out the venom by pulling on the connection of uh, toxins and poisons and venoms all being detrimental.
Mhm.
It's a more occult connection that it would be used to draw it out.
I need a basin, some water, cold water, a couple towels. I'm gonna need a small knife and herbs, lots and lots of herbs.
If someone could assist me, we could more hands.
Of course. Here.
Can help as well.
Thank you both. Let us this way. She'll just go.
You are able to very quickly head off to the garden and take care of what you need to grab. Everyone, well, let's just go ahead and take it from Helena. Give me a roll of horticulture, and I'll give you a +10 because Mr. Perler knows where to find the nightshade.
Yes, we spent plenty of time there earlier to know where stuff is. Okay. I'm in the wrong channel. Ten out of technically 90.
Alrighty. You're very quickly able to gather up all kinds of herbs and various bits of plants that could be utilized to help with this sort of thing. Following along with the list, but also adding in a few more things that you know from your teachings from your grandmother at the shop. and you're able to just get a full basket of what you'd need and rush up to the infirmary where everyone else is waiting. The other people from the Sweet Bones have largely all left, figuring out that they are basically just going to be watching in, and they don't want to watch in case something goes wrong, and they don't want to just watch someone die. So
Yeah.
now it is basically the lot of you, Captain Welland, and the still very shaky librarian.
We've brought the herbs. All of the ones that you've listed, and these are a few that I thought might also be helpful. Here you are.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah, and I've separated them.
you. While they were gone getting herbs and everything, Loretta was going to go and track down like the rest of the stuff that she needed and like give her hands like a thorough washing.
Okay. I'm going to need a roll from basically everyone here. For those of you who have medicine, I will need a roll of medicine to help with the bodily needs of this individual who, even after the venom is drawn out, still has two rather large holes in him. For those of you who have pharmacists, I would need a roll of that to help with coming up with medications that might help with the pain, or to help him rest easier when the venom is drawn out. And then, of course, Loretta, I will need a roll of bright arts and night arts, because this is playing on both sides of the occult powers.
Okay.
I have both medicine and pharmacist. Which one?
Whichever one you would like to roll. Generally, whichever one is higher.
Does anybody else have medicine or pharmacist?
I have both as well, but medicine is my higher.
Okay. Mine are both 80, so.
Can I try to aid Loretta with the night arts aspect of what she's doing?
I rolled a 69 for night arts.
Nice.
First of all, nice.
But yes, I would also accept a roll from Roderick, who might be able to help with. Not only would Loretta be pulling out the venom, but you might be able to, with night arts, reduce the damage that the venom has already done.
Okie dokie. I gotta.
And
sorry.
I do bright arts to help with that.
I am actually going to call on another tarot card to help with my bright arts. Honestly, I think I've got it on the magic portion of this. We might need somebody to roll. Oh wait, we got medicine, we got pharmacy, we got 2 people on night arts, 2 people on bright arts. Yeah. All right, this is gonna work. I'm just making this stuff up as I go along, guys. I don't know.
For pharmacy, I got 61 out of 80. Did anyone do medicine?
And then we also had Mr. Perler, who assisted with pharmacy as well, with an 8 out of 80. So the
Wow.
pharmaceutical needs are very well taken care of.
So we need somebody to roll medicine, don't we?
Uh,
All right, I'll roll medicine.
Already.
Whoa!
Succeeded.
Dang.
Very nicely done.
I would like to pull the D4 from the crown growth. As I don't actually know a whole lot about the lore here. Actually, let me see what we got here. Actually, I will pull from the crown growth, because the crown growth is one of the main reasons that we're having such a hard time here. We've got this thing that we gotta battle, and I assumed that the librarian was going into. He went into the mantis, right? To try to like figure this out, or where'd he go to?
He went out into the moors, the sort of forests
Moors.
of Brandkrug that you all know is a place that currently has some threats, quite obviously given his state, but it's
Yeah.
also where there is very likely something that will have sway and power in what you need to get the crown growth back where it
down.
belongs. Yeah.
So that's why this is all the crown growth's fault. So I'm gonna pull from that.
You can almost hear it gurgling in a chuckle.
Ew, gross.
Exactly.
Don't gurgle at me. I'm gonna pull that D4.
It is pulled.
All right, that is a 42. That succeeds.
Excellent.
69 and 42, baby.
Perfect.
Nice.
Everyone is working well together, taking care of things within each of their skill sets. Mr. Perler knows a lot about various kinds of deadly liquids and fluids that sort of enter the body in ways that they can be counteracted, working on antivenoms and things to sort of fortify the body along with the help from Helena. Sister Rosalie is working on the medicine side of things, working to begin cleaning the wounds a little bit better, working to get bandages ready for when the venom has been pulled out. And then Loretta and Roderick, you're both working in tandem. Loretta, you are working on pulling the venom free from his body, and with a few words, with the burning of a poultice that you make of nightshade and various other kinds of herbs, you draw your hand back and power radiates from you as the pitch black venom flows out from the wounds, and you can hear the librarian just gasp as the fluid just pulls out and looks to be enough that it would fill a bowl, whereas normally the amount of venom that is pushed into a body is actually rather minuscule. The venom is basically flowing out and into a different empty basin, and the necrosis that has been happening throughout his body is being fought back by rites of preservation through connection of the body to the earth itself, drawing in the power from the plants that weren't used, wilting them, but fortifying his body itself and healing it a bit thanks to Roderick's use of preservation arts within the night arts. Sort of a twist on the arts that would be more used to harm, finding a way to, with his quick thinking, reverse it to make it so that he would be better off. And as soon as the venom is out, the necrosis is fought back a bit, and the fortifiers and bandages are in place. You see that the librarian has lost consciousness, but that he is safe to rest and try to recover. He looks still quite ragged and just soaked through with sweat. But you also see that he has lots of bruising and bloodied knuckles. It looks like he was fighting.
And this is why you never go into the forests alone. Come on. We should get him to bed.
Yes.
Sister Rosalie is going to mutter under her breath, House, can you please show us the way to his room? Kind of
Even
trusting
as
that the house will.
As you
Perhaps we
say
should draw
that,
a path for him.
you hear the doors just slam open throughout the house, but and other doors slam shut as you notice that there are a certain line and certain path of doorways that have been opened to you.
Hmm.
Should we draw him a bath, maybe?
Get him a bath. Let's get him clean. Can somebody go get him some tea, and food? He's gonna have to replenish himself.
Yes. I can do that. If I'll do my best. If
I'll go to help get the tea and the food ready.
Thank you. And she'll look to the guys that kind of helped her get him here, and gesture for them to come pick him up. And we'll begin to lead him to his room.
Captain Welland will just hold his hand up and say, I will lead him. And we'll go to pick him up just by himself again and carry him quite gingerly again as if he weighed nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And with a bath drawn, food and tea all made up together, after a short but rather tense while, you all are once again able to reconvene. He seems stable. He is still fading in and out of consciousness, taking a little bit of water, a little bit of tea, taking a bite to eat before he would just fall asleep again. But he is not at risk of dying. You now also have a small basin full of venom from one of the larger serpents that seem to be within the moors.
Could turn that into a poison.
or an antidote.
We should focus on the idea of the antidote.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
I think
you.
that there might be enough for both.
Do we need another? Antidotes tend to be one of a kind, but anybody can put together a poison if you have arsenic. I mean, it's really not. They're not very valuable as. Never mind.
That is valid as well. There are plenty of herbs and plants in the garden that could be put to that sort of use, but if one were inclined, but most certainly an antidote at the very least would in case something like this happens again to or one of us or anyone really. That's just my thoughts. Or not.
I'm not the pharmacist or the botanist here.
Oh.
Whatever you think might be best, I'll leave that to all of you.
Well, it is a poison all on its own. Not much needs to be done for that, but to try and figure out the other, I do have. I do have a bit of skill in that department, not with poisons, but well, I mean, a bit of everything. My grandmother taught me.
Maybe something we could infuse in the tea.
Oh, I have with the venom. I don't believe so, but
No, treating it.
oh, Oh,
to
that's
help
a
him
thought.
recover faster.
That's a thought. Well, the tea that I brought is full of helpful things. But yes, I can figure something out. I might require a bit of help if anyone else is even marginally proficient.
I have a little bit of a skill with plants. I can see what I can do to help.
Mm. And yes, and any help would be wonderful. I can do that now or later.
Well, I
Tell
mean,
me.
it might be best to do it now.
All right.
And the sooner we can get anything like that into him, better it might be. I think I got it all out, but
Just
don't.
in case.
Yeah. I'm not all that helpful when it comes to the plants, and such, but so I won't get in your way.
Oh, you wouldn't be in my way at all. And so who all would like to help with that endeavor? As I said, more hands tends to make less work.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh. Okay, then yes, all right. Shall we then?
Let's go.
And I do apologize if I am coming off as pushy or bossy. I'm not meaning to tell you any of you what to do at all. Not in the slightest.
You all work on that. Let me go and just make sure that he's still sleeping, and when he is sleeping, isn't sleeping, eating, and
Be sure he has as much of that tea as possible. It's full of good herbs for.
right, yeah. And she'll walk off and allow those who are better inclined with medicine and herbs and not ritualistic sacrifice. She'll allow them to do what they need to do.
Let the normies handle the normie stuff. Meanwhile, but yes, we will go ahead and if anyone has anything else they would like to do aside from the helping with the herbs, we will go ahead and move over to the quarters of the librarian.
Sister Rosalie's going to say to everybody else, I'm going to go pray for a little bit, but Loretta, I shall be joining you after.
Very well.
Sister Rosalie, while you do that, please give me a roll of bright arts.
$73, so it's a success.
Okay. We will come to the results of that success momentarily. Loretta, you are once again in the in a room alone with the librarian, though he is a bit less dressed than he was before. His torso is just wrapped several times over with bandages and gauze meant to help heal the rather large wounds, because even with the venom out, the wounds themselves are quite sizable and quite close to very important parts of the body. As you enter in, he stirs, and as the door closes, you see that his eyes are open again. Loretta.
You need to eat and drink. Drink some tea.
He slowly works his way up to his arms, just pushing himself up to being sitting up, wincing a bit in pain, but he does drink more of the tea, drinking it all down in one go before he would begin snacking again.
And check your bandages. I ain't no nurse, but let me take a look at you. And she's going to move to like sit next to him on the bed.
He does not shy away from you. He just sort of lifts his arms to let you check the bandages. A lot of them are dirty and do need to be changed. Not soaked through to the point where it's alarming, but they've been catching enough of the blood that has been seeping out and working to keep more of it in, so they just need to be freshened up.
Right, wonderful. And she'll tend to the bandages, and make sure that things are looking clean. And while she's like going out and reworking and rewrapping, she just looks up at him with a fairly blank expression. Why'd you go out by yourself?
I was hoping to just get a bit of information. Scout
Alone.
things out, as it were. I wasn't expecting they would sense me. I guess my rights were not enough.
Well, we're lucky that you came into the pub when you did. Hopefully, this part's gonna hurt. And she's gonna just take like a piece of like cloth and like roll it up and just kind of like pop it in his mouth, and then she's gonna go ahead and like re-clean up the wound. And use the cloth in his mouth to hold back any like screams so her ears don't go like.
I get you.
Mhm.
He bites down firmly on the cloth. He doesn't let off too much noise, but you can just see the way that he's biting down. It's almost like he's about to bite through the cloth.
Yeah. And then when she's done, she'll take the cloth out of his mouth and just put it on like the bedside table. Don't go out alone from now on.
Yes, it was very foolish, despite my precautions.
Uh,
I'm sorry to have worried you all.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that all of us were here, wasn't it?
I suppose it was.
You doing all right, Christopher?
I'm alive, so there's that. It's been an odd past several days. It was so quiet before you all came here. He just looks at you with a small smile.
Yes, rather, fortunately and unfortunately, all at once, we seem to be quite the group.
That you are. Have you... Have you gotten to know your fellows much?
I
would
know
think
that
that I am taking all of your time.
one's a dancer. I know that one's an architect of some sort. One's a nun. And one's kind of an enigma.
I'm not sure if he's an architect. I think he might be more of an archaeologist. Focus on the ancient things.
That's the word that I was looking for.
It's quite all right. It's been a very Busy morning.
I don't tend to get to know many people. Making friends wasn't what I was set out here to do. And I'm afraid that I'm going to break at least 2 of them if I'm not careful. So,
I think that you'll be just fine.
there is
They,
one thing that we all know is that we were all worried sick about you.
yes, and I apologize again for that. That wasn't my intention. I was hoping to just be of use, but it seems like I was more of a burden.
Don't worry about it. And I get putting yourself in danger for knowledge.
Right.
Like,
I forget that the power comes largely from being within the house, and outside I am significantly less.
ugh, I wouldn't even say that. Sometimes the art of knowledge gives us a false sense of security. You feel like you're invincible. And sometimes it bites you in the ass. Pardon my French.
It's quite all right.
I was just lucky that the captain was there to tug you back in when he was.
The good captain, yes. He has been a great boon. He has been a good protector from the physical side of things for the Hush House. And in turn, I help him and his wife have a quieter existence.
Mm.
That serpent what bitch is still out there, right?
Aren't you in the kitchen with us?
Oh, I am. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, awesome. All right.
Did I remember
Editor, please kill that statement. Thank you.
Now he's omnilocating.
Mm.
correct?
Sorry, everybody.
How big was it?
The serpent?
Yeah. Do you remember?
It was longer than it was wide, but it does have width akin to an adult person. Thankfully, it is alone now, and he just smiles a bit to himself.
See, you did manage to take something down.
I suppose that's true enough.
Who's Teresa?
Ah, you. I suppose I said something in my
One moment.
favor, did I not?
Uh, yeah. You looked at me and you said that you were sorry to a woman named Teresa.
Yes. She was my beloved years ago. Her name was Teresa Gaumier. You know her as the Baldemarian.
What?
So the Baldurarian's your girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend, I suppose, would be the better term.
Ooh.
I discovered that there were things that she wanted, such as one of the doors of the Mansus. She wanted it more than she wanted me. And Loretta, you are someone who has read several works of various occult authors, including the works of Traveling at Night. And you remember from the third volume about including references to the Baldemarian. And you know that this man's name is Christopher. You are intelligent enough that you are able to put two and two together as to figure out who the librarian is.
Okay, Loretta is. I'm not.
Fair enough. The librarian is the author of the series Traveling at Night, Christopher Alopoli.
The only
Oh.
readable occultist.
Yep.
Oh my
Nell has
god.
that book.
Oh my god.
He just smiles at you.
Oh. Hold on. You know, when I was first getting into the occult work, I was gifted a couple of copies of your book. I still hold them in pristine condition. I don't let anybody touch them.
If you'd like, perhaps I could autograph them for you. The name doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
No, but it means everything to me. You are the reason I got into this line of everything.
Well, I'm glad that I could assist you.
Oh, they're never gonna believe this. Okay. No, they definitely will never believe this. And she just looks at him for a moment. Let me get you more tea. You should drink up. And
I'll finish my food while you're gone. Don't need to wait on me.
okay. And I believe Sister Rosalie wanted to come in next time I make my rounds, so let me. And she'll just take take a wet rag and just make sure to like clean off his face and grab the teapot and go down to the kitchen. She's quiet at first. But the moment that she closes the door, she does that little like fangirl yelp.
Very different from the usual blank stare.
Yeah. The fangirl yelp can be heard by everybody in the house that is like within like walking distance.
Fair. That'd be most people downstairs. Upstairs we have the good sister who is praying.
Yes.
And the result of that bright arts roll was that you feel the light from the candles at the shrine you're praying at sort of caress you, and you can look into the light caused by the candles and see a familiar face, one that you met earlier this morning.
Candles are getting fresh.
Good sister.
What was his last name?
Lapidoth.
Lapidoth. I need to hold on. I'm gonna. I was wanting to write that down earlier, but I forgot. Lapidoth. Definitely not how you spell it, but it's how I'm gonna say it.
Was it Everett? Was the first name?
Everett Lapidoth, yeah.
Yes, Everett Lapidoth.
Bless you.
She's gonna keep her eyes closed for now. She's gonna say, "Mr. Lapidoth, it's good to see you again." Or in this case, feel you.
Well, that just sounds just plain wrong. I am a spoken for man.
And I'm a spoken for woman.
Touche. Though I suppose it is a little bit easier for you to get in contact with your dearly beloved. Mine, unfortunately, now resides at the bottom of the ocean. A draught in chains of iron and forge work.
Have you thought about praying to the sun and rags?
Oh, I do from time to time. Sometimes I pray to the Colonel. But they won't exactly be able to help me, given that they are beings of thought and light, and she, while she is still within the ocean, is a being of flesh and metal.
Sorry, I took a drink of water and I'm coughing right now.
It's all good. Be careful.
You are not
No.
a fish.
But I need water.
Or so you
Sorry.
tried to breathe it in. You're not a fish.
Ah. Well, Mr. Lapidoth, why are you gracing me again today?
I just wanted to let you know that I have spoken to my associate within the lodge. The Baldemarian has spoken quite highly of you and your kind, your little group of friends.
Acquaintances for now, but we soon will be friends, I'm sure.
Indeed. I would just like to let you know that if I am able, I will assist in whatever manner I am capable of doing so. I do not think I will be extending my reach too far into the physical realm. I have done that before, and it cost me dearly. So, if I can, I will let you know what I can get from this side of things. The Mansis. I just wanted to keep you up to date in who all you know that you have in your corner, as it were.
It's much appreciated.
Of course. If you have need of me, just feel free to light a candle, look into a mirror, and ask for dear old Everett.
I will do. As of right now, I would like to let you know that our dear friend, our mutual friend, has taken ill. Something bit him and infected him.
Well, that is a damn shame. I know him. He is quite strong, though. I do believe he will be fine. Especially since he's got so many keen and wise individuals looking after him.
Well, this was a productive meeting in a sense. I'm going to go check on our librarian. Would you like me to bring a candle along so you can watch?
Nah, matters of the flesh don't really concern me no more. You go ahead and you enjoy.
A rather dark way to put it, but enjoy they shall.
And as he chuckles, he just his face just fades away into the candlelight.
And I'm going to go join Loretta.
And I think that would be a point where Sister Rosalie comes down and watches Loretta give the fangirl squeal.
And do the Katherine Heigl dance.
Yeah.
Oh
That too.
dear. Oh dear. What was that noise for?
Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Somehow I
Just
feel like you're lying to me.
I am perfectly fine, Sister Rosalie.
Oh, I have no doubts in that. I'm just doubting that it was nothing.
Just Librarian is up and is drinking and eating. I changed out his bandages for him. And I was just going to fill up his teapot. And she'll wave the empty teapot in her hand.
I'll walk over to the librarian. I don't really care if he's awake or not at the moment. I'm gonna say, Mr. Everett Lapidoth is joining our cause.
Oh, that is a bit unexpected. He tends to keep to himself since events that happened about a decade ago. Uh, though I suppose we are far enough from Alexandria that he doesn't really have too many foul feelings for this place. But that is good to know. He is a bright fellow, and he gives a really small shit-eating grin.
That's one way to put it. And I'll return it. I did have him talk to the Baldemarian, though, when we first initially met while you were out getting attacked.
Oh, uh, okay. Did he have anything to say about what she might have said?
That she rather likes our little group.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. She has very odd tastes.
Well, knowing what I do know, I am not going to take it as a bad thing. We don't really have the option to have any bad thoughts in our minds. If we do, our mission might fail.
True enough.
All right. You need to get some rest, sir.
I will do so as soon as Miss Loretta comes back with the tea. I feel like if I don't drink another pot, then someone will end up hitting me.
All right. Well, I'm going to be sitting over here watching over you.
Thank you.
I don't really have anything else to say. So,
Fair enough. we can then go ahead and head on down to the kitchen, where Loretta is now arriving to refill the tea and possibly spill some if she so wishes.
No, but she while the hot water is boiling, she is going to go into one of the bins that was like left downstairs and grab a book.
Only one,
Maybe 3.
maybe 3.
For
Good
a
to
bit
know.
of light reading. They've probably got water boiling already, because they're, they were making tea earlier and also are now, unless they're in the pharmacy place. Or not pharmacy. The other word.
Infirmary.
That word. Yes. I don't know where they would be.
Fair enough. Very well. In that case, I believe that is where we will go ahead and wrap for the evening. Thank you all so much for listening in. Farewell.